CBS 4's Joan Murray is in Fort Lauderdale with more on today's protests. Joan?
Well, Gwen, while people were out celebrating in their backyards having barbecues, dozens of people came here to Fort Lauderdale and the federal courthouse you see behind me.
Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 6, and asked them, Channel 10 too, and asked them why in the world they weren't here, that there was no one here. Well, they were either busy, there was only one photographer.
Reporting on Michael Jackson, deifying Michael Jackson.
Or they were covering the holiday, it was a holiday, and they had no time for us.
They knew that this was going to take place today, and they did not have us on their roster at all, essentially blacking us out.
Right, and that's what they did.
Washington has to hear your voices, and the only way they're going to hear them is if you send representatives up there who actually represent you. They need a pink slip in 2010, and you're the only ones who can make that happen. Thank you for the signs. So far, I got to tell you, the best sign is the guy on the corner who's got the Geico eyes on a stack of cash, and it says, "This is the money you could have saved if you didn't vote for Obama." Our children are at stake. Thank you for coming out, and we'll be talking again in a moment. Stay on the wall!
Well, I'm here today to express how I feel about the government spending and them not reading the bills, and I don't like it too much because nobody's bailing me out. You know, that's how I feel. Nobody's bailing me out, but we're consistently bailing all these banks out, all these auto industries, we're bailing all these people out, and I don't like it personally, you know. So that's why I'm here, to show my support.
And I say this all the time, and it's so important to realize that true leaders really grasp the concept that you lead by serving. And if we had people in Washington right now that grasp that concept, we would be leaps and bounds of where we are right now.
And your opponent, Mr. Wexler,
yeah,
where does he stand on these issues?
Pretty much opposite with everything I stand for. He is in the pockets of every special interest group. He is trying to push that health care plan of 676 right now. And the problem that we have with that, and it's such a simple, this is a perfect example, is the health care plan 676. While President Obama gets on the TV every day and he tells us, hey look, if you like what you have, you're going to be able to keep it. When you read what's in 676, one of the actual lines in there in the very beginning says that it is going to be unlawful, illegal for any private insurer to offer the same coverage that the government offers. So in other words, if you like what you have, you can't keep it. And he's willing to stand out there every day in front of the TV camera and lie. That's what Wexler's done to our district, and he's done it for long enough.
I'm looking at other patriots of America of all kinds of walks and talks of life coming here together to say we are taxed enough already. The reason I decided to run for Congress is basically because I am sick and tired of not being represented. In my district, we have a woman that voted yes to the stimulus bill. She voted yes to the last cap and trade tax. And both of these things are hurting my business. They're hurting my employees, and they're hurting the people that I care for.
Venezuela, where Chavez is the same thing. They're socializing everything. I mean, they're far ahead of where we are, but we're headed down the same road of, you know, taking over the banking industry and everything here.
I wanted to come out here and try to get our country back. I'm disgusted with what's going on right now. I want our government to read the Constitution, to follow the Constitution, to listen to their constituents, and we don't like what's happening. Stop the spending. When I'm in financial distress, I pull back and assess the situation, and I don't spend more money. It's irresponsible. It's ludicrous.
We have here one of the candidates who's running against Ron Klein in the 22nd District of Florida, Colonel Allen West.
Well, hey Joyce, I want to thank you, and it really is an honor to be here with my fellow Americans, South Floridians, because this is what this country is all about. The fact that here on our Independence Day, we have said we're going to have a re-independence. What they did 233 years ago was about us saying we're not going to live under the tyrannical government, that we are going to stand up and we're going to set forth and create something that is absolutely unknown to anyone else. The indomitable human spirit and the will to have freedom is what we're going to promote here in these United States of America. And we have to reassert that message once again here in South Florida, in Georgia, all across the 50 states, and we've got to send that to Washington, D.C. You know, it's gotten to the point that I say it is not about taxation without representation. It's taxation with misrepresentation. They are no longer listening to the American people and what they're saying they want. They're no longer listening to the basic constitutional mandates. They're no longer protecting our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So guess what? It's time to rise up and let them know that the next time the ballot box comes around, we're sending you home, because it is about securing our liberty. And that's what this great day is about. And just God, thank you. God bless us. And this is just a great country.
That's right. We get to fight the fight around the country. I want people to pay attention to what's happening in South Florida, because we are going to lead this charge. We're tired of being the punching bag for America with all the bad stories. We're going to rise up in the South, and we are going to reassert our love and independence. This is the kind of country that demands something from its individuals. This is a guy who served his country for 22 years, takes off one uniform, and he's willing to put back a suit and a tie so he can put on the new uniform of the servant. So we're going to get guys like him elected to Congress. We're going to get gals who want to take on the incumbents, and we're going to rise up. The South is rising up, and if America can't rise up with us, well then we may be one of those states that secedes from this union. Thank you.
Excuse me, as a member of the mainstream press, can you please tell me why no other mainstream press organizations felt the need to send out only cameramen
at the
with
end
no
of the
reporters
event?
After the event is over?
It's over now.
All I can say is that I'm an employee and they send me when they send me.
Well,
I'm not the one that sends me anywhere.
Yeah, well, you know, our view of media, of public media, is just crap.
See,
it's just unbelievable.
Hold on a second.
Despicable.
The mainstream
it's
media
despicable. Not you, sir. But the media, big media, is a joke.
But you realize that you are a part of this story now.
I'm not a part of anything.
Yes, you are.
I'm covering the event.
I know that.
The event's over.
Call 3. Okay.
But the mainstream.
At least there's some coverage. This is going to air. Unfortunately, we got
You're
here.
going to air it as a thinly attended rally.
Call the station.
You have an agenda, and the entire big media has an agenda, and we are fed up.
Why are you screaming?
And I don't need a microphone.
Why are you screaming at me? Why can't you just talk normal?
Because I can't. Because I don't have a microphone. Because we're not allowed to have microphones. We're not allowed to have protest rallies and have microphones. We're supposed to have protest rallies as if we're in the 17th century. That's why I'm yelling, sir, because big media does not represent us. Big media does not tell what the American people really think and feel. You frame all the questions of your surveys, and it's just a bunch of garbage, and everybody knows it. And the jig is up, and you're going to take David Letterman and your whole rotten crew, and, you know, you're going to destroy this country. We'll never have it back again, because you think everything is hip now.
Thank you. Apparently the press didn't like being in the front.
Yeah, so he's leaving. But, you know, when you have a situation where the press, or the so-called free press, is willingly and openly spreading an administration's agenda, then we're under tyranny. We're in big trouble. So The American people need to wake up and really look for the truth themselves, because we're not being presented with the truth. And that's scary here in the United States. It's supposed to be the land of the free, and we're kind of being fed an agenda and brainwash, and that's scary. So hopefully this country will wake up and really look at what's going on and overcome the press, the politicians, and take back the country and get it back on track and get them adhering to our individual liberties and freedoms that were granted to us in that great document, the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. And hopefully that will happen soon, because if it doesn't, we're not going to have freedom ever again.